Hey, and welcome back to Bain's Bites. I'm Bain. So today we're doing something that I love. I pick up all the time. I love beef jerky. But I got tired of buying it from the store, tired of paying too much for it for Buc-ee's, and so I've been trying to make it a couple times at home. I figured kind of out what I like. So today I'm going to show you what I like to do and how I make some beef jerky. Let's get started. So first we're going to start with our marinade, and when it comes to my marinade style, it's kind of whatever you like. Whatever style you're going for, you can go with some salt and pepper, a little bit of oil, and some Dr. Pepper. You can keep it simple or fancy or crazy as you like. I've got an assortment of things I like to add, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do here, and y'all make it your own. So first we're going to start with about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. It's always a good base if you want kind of a sweet and savory, good beef jerky. I'm going to do just about a splash of Worcestershire sauce, however you say it, maybe about 1.5 teaspoons or even a tablespoon. Next we got some ponzu, which again is just a kind of citrus inspired soy sauce, about 1/2 teaspoon. Got some white wine vinegar. Sometimes I use rice wine, but today we're going with rice wine. White wine, it sounds good. We'll add about 1.5 teaspoons, maybe a tablespoon. Just like that. Got some sesame oil, a very strong flavor, so maybe 1/2 teaspoon, not too much. If you know me, you know I like a little bit of spice, so I've got some Gochujang, the Korean chili sauce. I'm going to go about 1 tablespoon of that, give it a good kick. Then we get to our dry ingredients. I'm going to use a little bit of Mississippi Grit, which is our blend of salt and pepper and a little bit of citrus notes. Maybe 1 tablespoon of that. For a little bit of color, I'm going to kick in some paprika, probably about another tablespoon. I've got some crushed red pepper flakes. Going to add a couple splashes of that, as much or as little as you want. Again, omit, change, whatever you want. You make it your way. I like a little bit of heat, so we'll go with some of that. Now this one's a little bit controversial. Some people say add it, some people say don't. It definitely helps with shelf stable, life of your jerky. It's pink salt, curing salt, cure powder, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and use it. I use about 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to add this in right here. Now as you can see, we've got a bunch of umami, a bunch of salty and savory flavors, and to balance that, I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of honey. So we'll get that added in. And then on top of that, we're going to add a little bit of brown sugar. Maybe 1/8 cup. Just about that much. And finally, I'm going to add some coarse black pepper, because you can't go wrong with a little bit of black pepper on some jerky. Maybe 1 teaspoon. Alright, I've got my marinade mixed up. I'm just going to give it a really good whisk, get that sugar and all the dry ingredients incorporated. Again, you can keep this as simple or as complicated as you want, but however you feel is necessary and what you think will be right is what you should probably use. So one of the most important things when it comes to making beef jerky is picking the right meat. You can find recipes and different ideas for ground beef. You can use venison, you can use pork if you're brave. Haven't tried that yet, not ready for it. I've seen turkey jerky, I've seen boa jerky, kangaroo jerky. The world is your burrito, you fill it with what you want, but I'm going to stick with some good old-fashioned American beef. Now when you're making jerky, what you really do want is a lean beef. You don't want a really fatty ribeye slice. You don't want the fat in jerky. When it dehydrates and crisps up, it's just going to get chewy and gross. You want something really lean, really nice that will dry up nice and give you that great jerky texture you're looking for. The marinade, again, is whatever you want. So what I choose, I get my butcher to slice me some eye-round roast. It's super easy, it's cheap, it's a super lean cut of beef. I don't know what else you'd ever want to actually use it for. There's better cuts for almost everything else, but when it comes to beef jerky, eye-round roast is amazing. I have my butcher slice me up about 2.5 pounds, and I'd say it's about 1/4 inch thick. You can go 1/8 inch, you can go thinner, you can buy a whole roast yourself. I'd recommend you freeze it for a little bit before you slice it. It'll make slicing a little bit easier, but however you want to do it, this is my recommendation, this is what I use. So we're going to get it marinated tonight, we're going to mix the beef, and the marinade. Throw it in a Ziploc bag, and tomorrow we're gonna throw it on the Traeger, turn it into some killer jerky. Yeah, this was sliced fresh this morning. It's just after it's been sitting in the fridge before I marinated. Some of those pieces turned from red to brown, but they're still good to go. So I've got a couple slices in. I'll throw our marinade in. Make sure we got all the goodness scraped from the sides. Get that poured in. So you want to press out all the air you can without liquid popping out of the bag. Seal it up tight. Give it a good mix. Before we go to bed, I'll toss it and turn it once or twice. And when I wake up in the morning, I'll toss it and turn it again. And then we'll show you how we're going to make this beef jerky tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow. So what we're gonna do is we've got our eye-round steak marinated. It looks great, it's changed color. So we're just gonna strain off any of the extra marinade. We're gonna get it out to the Traeger. I've got the Traeger fired up to 180 degrees. If you have a dehydrator, that'd work great. And if you don't have either, Google how to dehydrate jerky in your oven. It can even be done at home. A couple things you might need, but it's doable. However, we're gonna use the Traeger. So let's get this strained off and we'll get it on. We'll start drying it out. Got it done! That was a joke. We just pulled the jerky off. It literally took 5 hours. I said 1/4 inch, it's maybe 3/8 of an inch. It's a thicker jerky, but it looks amazing. The color is incredible. It's still warm, it's still hot. So I put it on a cooling rack. I'm actually gonna let this cool for a little bit. What I like to do though, and I'll show you guys so I can give it a taste, is I like to slice it into about 1/2 inch strips. So I'll take one of these right here. I'll let you guys know just how we did. Oh man, these are incredible. It's still juicy, super smoky. All those seasoning and spices, and that's incredible. That's such a killer jerky. You go to Buc-ee's, you get jerky, 26 bucks a pound? I don't think so. Once this cools off, I'm gonna throw it into a Ziploc bag, get it completely room temperature. I keep mine in the fridge because we use that pink curing salt. It'll last for about 7 days, no problem. Some people say longer, there's other discrepancies and this and that, but with that curing salt, 10 days cooked to this temperature, I know it's safe in the fridge, and by 10 days, it'll be gone. Don't worry about that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any requests or things you want to see us make, anything you want to learn how to make, let us know down in the comments. And as always, y'all have a great day.